Oh, you know me. I'm stalling. We do this every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So I stall for a little bit till I get that notification. And there it is. Clarity, consistency, push past the chaos. Welcome to the Troy Graham That is Lounge number 39. Wow. 39. 39 shows. Well, all right. Title for today is Clarity and Consistency Pushes Past the Chaos. One more time. Clarity and consistency pushes past the chaos. Honestly, I'm not going backwards today. I don't have a story. To mail it in today, you know that? And what you mean by mail it in, Graham? What I mean? Just stay in bed. But you know how you got the angel on your shoulder, and you got the devil on the other shoulder. He's like, "Come on, you can do it. You don't have to do this. Ain't nobody watching anyway. You ain't getting paid to do this. Stay in bed." You never know who you're reaching and who you're affecting. Listen to the true voice that gives you power. Voice. I'm your voice. Stay in bed. Doesn't it feel good? It might feel good, but the outcome won't be good because that person you think who's not listening is listening, and you're going to say something that's going to mean something to someone, and you're going to miss out on your blessing. They're going to miss out on theirs. And then there's that one true voice outside of the angel and the devil, God. And he was like, "Yo, you know what you must do. You know what you want to do. You know what you really have to do. But hey, you can stay there. I mean, because blessings usually come to people who stay in bed, right? The blessing of sleep or rest. But what you're going to gain if you keep avoiding your tests. That being said, let's get to the subject matter at hand. You ever come home? Okay, so FYI, I was married and then I got divorced, and that's how I became a single father, right? Okay. But you ever come home from work or just had a hard day at work, right? You come in and your spouse looks worn, your wife looks worn out, kids are just super active today. You know, like I don't know, maybe she gave them some sugar or something. They just super active, man. And all you want to do is catch a little bit of rest before you get involved in this. But she's like, I need my rest. I've been here all day, and I cooked, and I cleaned, but you can't tell because they threw the clothes and stuff all over the place. You say, sure, no problem. You know, go ahead. It's not like I'm tired or nothing. And then you just drop down on the couch and they start jumping all over you, jumping on and off the couch until finally you're like, stop, stop. You're driving me crazy with all that noise. I just got home from work. Come on, let's go think of something to do. You know? So then you say, okay, look, why don't we get a book? What book you gonna read us? Man, it don't matter, man. I'm gonna read you something fun. I'm gonna read you something fun. I wish I could remember that book. You ever heard of Super Fudge? I read that to them. That was one that I grew up on when I was in elementary school, so you know it's old. And I don't remember the author. Super Fudge, man. Good book. Incorrect. That's not the book I read for them. I bought this. That was Kareem Abdul-Jabbar uh, created that book, told about black inventors. So I started reading them that book. It took some time for them to calm down. They were just hyper all over the place. But once I got to something that they wanted to hear, like the internet or something, who created the internet was a black man or whatever, they perked up. Cell phones, freezer trucks, something, and they perked up. They like, I didn't know somebody black created this, that. Now you know. And if you don't know, now you know. You know. So that got them to turn down. But let me explain something to you. I did 8 hours of work. I worked at a warehouse back then, and I was the good lord, I was the one that guided the trucks in, and I know there's a name for it, but for some reason I'm having a brain fart. Right? Basically, if freezer truck came in, I told them where to go. Dry goods came in, told them where to go. Bakery, everything. It was all on me. And if something happened, I had to ride one of those things all the way to that side of the warehouse, then get back and guide somebody else in. So basically, I was mentally tired. Then I had to drive home. So I was mentally worn out, right? Physically and mentally worn out because of some data. So the last thing I wanted to do was actually go straight home. The last thing I wanted to do was to deal with some hyper damn children. They were pure chaos that day. They were just jumping. They said they were hungry and stuff like that. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. You know what I did? I ordered something. I was too tired to stand over a stove that night. So I ordered some Chinese food. Sat at the table, said our prayers, and he ate. I gave him some chocolate hemp milk and some more Chinese food. And them little suckers went to sleep. But it was pure chaos in there, man. I could have easily said, I'm turning back around. I'm going in my car. I'm going to find some place to park and go get some sleep. But you know what would have happened if I would have done that? Broke that broke that line of consistency and clarity. Ran into some trouble. I probably would have got pulled over by the cops, or they would have saw me sleeping somewhere and woke me up and charged me with being blackballed sleeping in the car. Who knows? So I said I'm gonna stay, and that was one of the hardest days of my life because it was hard, just like it is now. It was hard for me to keep my eyes open, right? And it was hard for me to keep my eyes open. But once that General Chow's chicken, egg rolls, whatever else they had, the chicken wings, I shared that thing out. They ate, and remember, there's 3 boys, so you know I had to spend a bit. I had to get enough for me and their mama and their sister. So it was quite a bit of food. And so they ate once they calmed their behind down. And thank God for hemp milk. If you have hyper children, hemp chocolate milk, please. It'll calm them down. So I gave them the hemp chocolate milk. They loved it. A few minutes later, they went to sleep. They went to sleep. Everybody, we had this long couch. It was like very long. So all 3 of them fell on the couch, fell asleep on the couch, and I fell asleep. And then, of course, they woke up before me and ate up most of the food. Luckily, I put put aside their mother's food and their sister's food and just left out enough for them. Or I put some more away for me too. Don't even worry about that. But if I didn't have the clarity to just be consistent and push through that chaos, what would have happened if I would have drove off and left and came home after a couple of hours of sleep? They would still be up. Whatever good mood I might have been in is going to be gone by the time I get in that house. Because the wife would have been mad at me. They would still be up, getting on her nerves, and I wouldn't really know what to do, nor would I want to do anything. I still want to sleep. That's the thing. If I didn't, sometimes as fathers, we have to feet because Lord knows I don't know what I would have done that day and many other days when they had those moments. We talk about children that are 6, 5, and 2, and they all over the place, all over. And I was like, y'all need to go to sleep. I can't tell you how many days I would come home and they would just be super hyper until the two oldest ones started going to Head Start. So by the time they got home, they were a little sleepy. And the youngest one, he was homeschooled mainly by me, so he was homeschooled, so he was good. By himself, he was good. When he was with his brothers, not so much. So yeah, not so much. But once they got home from Head Start, they were tired. So I said, okay, where your homework at? So they wash their hands. I help them with their homework. Then I give them something to eat. Well, I give them something to drink and let them sit at the table. And then we do this homework here, right? And then every single time that happened, where they were just like rabbits hopping all over the, trying to burn off all that extra energy, I would be like, I want to fly away. I want to fly away. But I had to fight that chaos. I had to fight it and say, I could push through this. I could push through this. I could push through it. I could do it. I can do it. Because trust me, if I told you I didn't want to go to sleep and just say the hell with it, I'd be lying. So true, so true. I'd be lying to you, right? Look at these eyes of mine. And I even slept for a little bit before I came on. But the thing is that I was up for 3:30 a.m. until midnight yesterday for whatever reason. Something haunted my soul. And sometimes that's how it works with children. The energy is that haunting. And they don't know how to get rid of it besides being crazy. And sometimes you got to be just as crazy with them. Let them put the mattress on the floor in their bedroom and let them just, or put two of them down just to be safe. And let them jump around, jump around, jump around, jump around. Have a pillow fight while the mattresses are there in case somebody fall. And let them get that energy out. Wrestle with them. Let them get the energy out. Horseback ride, all three of them on my back. From their bedroom to the living room and back to the bedroom. I'll do that 3 times. 3. And by that time, they'd be a little tired and my back would feel like it was going to break. My Lord. So I don't have any technical terms to tell you. All I'm telling you is you have to use your ingenuity and give in to the chaos and the white noise. Because you'll end up losing out on some great moments if you do that. And I know I keep going off screen because I can't keep still when I'm on it for some reason. I don't know, I'm fidgety. Mm. So what you have to do is learning how to push past that white noise. You know, the white noise where you can't focus on nothing. Push past it because it'll lull you to sleep. And then what? Then what? You go to bed at 1 o'clock. Next thing you wake up is 8 o'clock. And you're like, whoa, where the kids? They asleep, but your house is wrecked because you listen to the other voice in your head that says, they'll be all right. They old enough, and they in their room. Go to sleep. Yeah, you think they gonna stay in their room? Come on, let's go for a walk so I don't fall asleep. Next time, I won't be so haunted. So yeah, there's my chaos now, fighting sleep. Like, why did you go to sleep last night? That's the problem. I want this is 3:30 a.m. So 12 and 12 is 12 hours. Then you add three more, that's 15. Then I slept for three and got up at 3 again this morning. And then I slept for 2 hours and I came back home. So still doesn't equal 8 hours, does it? Nope, it equals 5 hours. So I'm gonna keep pushing. I can't be giving any commentary about keep on keeping on it, and I can't keep on. That's crazy. That's crazy, man. And then there's those days you wake up and you're like, I'm definitely not doing this today. And that front door looks so good to you. That car and those keys and destinations unknown feels so good to you, right? But for some reason you don't go. Why? You get in the car. I mean, you say, hell, their mom is home, she'll be alright. And their sister home, they'll be alright. Even though one of them has to go to school, the other one has to go to work. I guess they're gonna be alright, right? They'll be alright. I'll be back in time. No, you won't. You know you're not coming back in time. You're gonna go find some. You're gonna go watch a movie and go to sleep. Or you go over to somebody's house and go to sleep. And more than likely, I would end up over my mother-in-law's house, going to sleep. It's crazy, but it's true. That's very true. So I'm not Superman at this, man. Nobody gave me a guide on how to be a father. Nobody. It's more than likely I just knew what I had to do and what I had to do. I had to do what I had to do, and sometimes I sacrificed what I wanted to do, and and then from there I had to teach them to grow, to become, while I had to fight myself from not giving up. I'm teaching them how to stand and how to grow. The whole time I'm like, I don't got too much energy left for me, right? That's the irony of all this. teaching them to grow, and some days you just want to let go. But the race is not for the swift; it's for those who can endure. And once you stepped into her door, children, you knew that your life was going to change for sure. And somebody say amen. Well, I'll say it if nobody else going to say it. Amen. So look, no way I was going to leave her to raise those children by herself. Shoot, no matter how worn out my soul was, no matter how much I hated my job, and trust me, I hated working at that warehouse. Well, not when I was temping. When I got full time and they stuck me in took me out the warehouse and they put me in another warehouse, which was the actual oven where they bake stuff. So if you could imagine all that heat coming through the wall while you loading them trucks, my lord, you talk about pushing past chaos. How about just pushing past and doing something you hate? It paid well for the '90s. You know, how much did that make? About 3,000, decent. But still, I had to get up. That's wrong. That wasn't the job I had when they were alive. They weren't born until 2000s. I worked at the airport. That's the one I had. 3 till 11 or midnight. 3 p.m. till 11. But it paid well, especially those bonuses. Paid real well. But some days I'd be like, I don't want to go in here. I can't stand it. And then I would hear their mother say, we need Pampers. We need this. We need that. I got it. Did you pay the water bill? You pay the light bill? I said, I got it. Yeah, had to do it. But I would just put on a smile on my soul, one foot in front of the other, and I'll get the job done. I work, baby. That's Big Daddy Kane. So yeah, and they would watch me as they got older. They saw me getting up and going to work every day, and I would be back on time to pick them up from the after school program. They inherited some of that. So that's what it is. That consistency. You can't break that. You can't break that flow. I know you want to backslide. Hell, I want to backslide sometimes. I want to backslide and just not doing nothing. When you backslide and don't do nothing, they see that. Come time when you need to motivate them, they're gonna be like, "Motivate me? Well, you didn't do nothing. You took days off and just laid there. Didn't even talk to us. You didn't even get out of bed with. You just let us do whatever we wanted. Can't argue with that, can I? I guess not. So I held on. I held on. I always told myself, instant clarity, know what your mission is, and don't listen to that voice, that chaos voice that tells you to turn into Usain Bolt and go for a run and don't look back. Because if I did that, ah, I'm pretty sure that I would have broken my back and grown cold and lost my soul. Indeed. But if I sit up here and tell you that there was the inner battle going on as well as the outer battle, yep, certainly was. But I knew I was never gonna leave him. I knew that. Even though I would joke with them and be like, you know what? One day y'all gonna wake up and I'm gonna be gone. You see all these gray hairs I'm getting? How I got all the gray hair and your grandmother don't got no gray hair? I said, look, no matter what you do in this life, don't teach your mind to give up. Okay? Please don't. Don't ever you teach your mind to give up. Because once you do that, you'll never accomplish anything. You want to be great, you have to go through something to get there. It's not no easy road. Ain't no easy. Nothing is easy. Stick and stay, and don't listen to the voice that tells you to run away. Because the more you're consistent with them, the more things become more clearer and clearer to them. And when they're supposed to make that transition from young person to young adult, they'll remember the foundation that they saw coming up. The good, the bad, the ugly, all. And they'll take what they want from it, the good, and use it for their own best interest. And every now and then they'll take the bad and say, I'll just mail it in today. I ain't gonna do that. Hmm. Don't think they won't when they will? You need to chill. That's the truth of the matter. When you think they're not looking, they're looking, watching, and feeding off what they see. They got this, they're putting it in their mental Rolodex. Okay, daddy called out of work. He didn't go into work. He didn't make us breakfast. He told us we could stay home from school. Now, whether all those things happen or not, you'll never know. True or false. Happened because I was overwhelmed and tired. But they made it up the next day. They made it up. See, because anytime you just give in, you cause yourself to have more work. Uh, so whatever day they might have missed from school, I had to go pick up the work from the day before, and they had to do that plus today's work. And then because I called the day of pay, so I had to tighten up the belt loop. You know, where one time you get two scoops, now you're working with a half or a one. Sorry, son, your daddy wasn't consistent, nor so he didn't gain clarity, and that's why his cash flow was low. Well, daddy should have got your butt up and went out the door. Watch your mouth. We just talking about the devil. All right, let me be true to myself. Give you a few more seconds and I'm gonna log off here. Let me say bless up to one and all. We're gonna watch the replay and everybody who popped in and watched and didn't say nothing. I still appreciate y'all. But I'm not gonna lie and say I can go for another half an hour because I'll end up falling asleep on you. And that ain't good. It's not that I snore, it's just that that's not a good look. Even though this is the daddy's lounge. But look, thank you. Thank you. See you the same Wednesday. See you Wednesday. Same Daddy's Lounge channel. Same Daddy's Lounge time. Buzz up yourself.